I'm going to peer into the future.
Oh my God. And we're back to the terrible puns. Today we're reviewing Peerless Double Oak Bourbon and Rye.
Welcome back to another edition of Bourbon Kingdom. I'm David.
And I'm Zach.
And today we are going to review the Peerless Double Oak Rye and the Peerless Double Oak Bourbon.
Man, you sound like that guy from the Evan Williams / Heaven Hill Experience.
Bourbon
Experience.
Bourbon.
Look, call Heaven Hill. Like, everybody just finish watching the video.
Yeah.
But once you're done with the video, call Heaven Hill Distillery, and you're going to hear this guy say, "Welcome to Heaven Hill Bourbon Experience." Or, no, I'm sorry, it's the Evan Williams. I think it's Evan. Whatever one it does. We're inside track.
Just do it. It's so much fun.
So anyway, kind of by you all putting in the comments a ton, like, hey, review Peerless Double Oak. Hey, is Peerless Double Oak worth it? Hey, what about Peerless Double Oak Rye?
And I think that's because a lot of people come to Louisville, and Peerless is one of those distilleries that's in downtown Louisville, and it's easy to get to, easy to go do a tour, and all that stuff. And so I think a lot of people want to know, like, if I go on this, is this worth it?
Yeah, I mean, and by the way, getting sidetracked here, talking about Peerless Distillery, I think they do an excellent tour.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty cool little fun spot down there, so I would recommend going to Peerless, checking them out.
Presentation-wise, they're cool. Like, I like these bottles. I think they do a good job. I love
just very heavy bottles.
Yeah, they are. They're girth. They got a lot of girth to them.
A lot of glass.
Yeah.
Anyways, going back to the Double Oaks. He's a child. We were talking about this earlier. We haven't reviewed anything Peerless yet because they're at that weird price point for a craft where it's like a little pricey.
Yeah.
And you don't really know. So I went ahead and got them. And
we bit the bullet for you guys.
What's this we you speak of?
He bit the bullet for you guys.
Yeah. Don't take credit where credit doesn't deserve there.
Bourbon Kingdom bit the bullet.
Yeah, sure. Bourbon Kingdom. Anyways, bought both of these. Took out a couple ounces of each. I have not tried them. I didn't want to try them because I wanted to do them.
Yeah, I think that's
live
fair.
Together.
Yep.
These apparently are not super easy to come by. I just kind of thought to myself one day, because I tried to take notes, or I'm trying to figure out what we're going to review. This is not easy to find. I imagine a bunch of you all will figure this out too. It's not super allocated, but for the Peerless Double Oak, you do kind of have to hunt for it a little bit. The good thing is, if you really do need it or / want it, if you are in the Kentucky area, you can go to the distillery. Everywhere else, I have no clue how it works with you guys. So
yeah.
Good luck. Is this the...
Good luck.
Yeah, no kidding. Is this the bourbon?
Before we start, hit the like, subscribe, turn on the notifications. Help us get to that 20,000 mark. We'd love you for it.
Yeah. Yes, we would. Is this the bourbon?
This is the bourbon.
Okay. So this is 109.5 proof. We have no clue on the age or on the mash bill. And
this
the price is around...
Like 3.5 years old.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is 109.5. This is 109. And this is around 90-ish bucks. So
this feels 37 years old.
For 100 or for 90-ish bucks, that's a heck of a deal.
I feel like the oak really stands out in that, which as a double oak, it probably should.
It's a little bit of a sweet chocolate note.
You know, it's crazy. The chocolate notes are the hardest. As you get into your bourbon experience, some of you are far into it, some of you are fresh into it. Like, everybody has notes that stand out easier to them than other ones. Like, the dark chocolate note for me is one of the hardest, most difficult notes to smell in it. I don't know why. Dark chocolate does not like...
I said sweet chocolate.
Or sweet chocolate, whatever. Chocolate in general, is one of those things that just doesn't really...
You're saying, yeah.
it's hard for my nose to grab the chocolate note.
Everybody's palate's a little different.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but that's kind of what I was getting at in that sense.
There is it's like a combination of a. Let me make sure I'm saying this right. It would be like an orange, like a, what are those called? Like cuties or whatever.
Yes.
Okay, so take a cutie, and it's like you dipped it in like a mixture of caramel and chocolate.
The caramel, I really get. The oak, I feel
I
like
was going to
really,
say there's an oak note, like a little bit of a, how should I word this? Stringent or strong oak note on there.
Yeah, which it should be. It's a double oak. It should have the oak smell to it. If it didn't, then I'd be like, what? I mean, what did the first oak do?
Tobacco really hits hard on that one.
I was getting ready to say the tobacco.
Tobacco
really
hits really hard.
This is my palate right to a T. I love tobacco.
Gingerbread cookie.
Yep. Ooh.
Not as much chocolate on there as what I thought that there would be. Like,
no.
There's a little bit of like a char note, a little bit of like a cocoa note.
Got a spicy, toasty kind of finish to it.
Mm-hmm.
Leathery. All the good stuff. Like that's I mean, honestly, that's my jam. Like I like that a lot.
Honestly,
I'm taking it home with me.
I am very, very sneaky, sir.
What this kind of honestly reminds me of, obviously a proofed up version, but also a little bit of like a spicier version of like what a 1910 would be. Like it really is.
Maybe not quite as sweet as a 1910.
No, but I think if you had more proof on there, it wouldn't be as sweet.
That's probably true.
So you get just a little bit more. You get a little bit more of that oak influence, a little bit more of that char influence on there. Some really nice, like just like tobacco, like pipe tobacco.
Very much so. This is the kind of bourbon that reminds me when my mom worked at the Tinderbox in the mall.
Oh, the old Tinderbox.
Oh. Rest in peace, Mama. But that's what that reminds me of. Man, just being in that store while she worked there was just the best. I've never been a smoker. Like I'll smoke a cigar every once in a while, but never been a smoker. Never been like a tobacco lover. But to go into a store like those, the old cigar and pipe shops, like that's right there. Like that's perfect.
So this doesn't last, or this doesn't linger like in the finish, but the palate, it just is like, it just coats your palate and just stays there.
I like this a lot.
Yeah.
I'm be honest, like I like this a lot. Like
I feel like this is a lot. So I have tried a different batch of this before. This is batch 12, by the way. And I don't feel like I loved the previous batch I tried. I couldn't tell you which batch I tried, by the way. But batch 12, I think it's really good.
Yeah. And this is their stuff, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, it should be all their, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
It should be all their stuff.
Yeah.
Yep, distilled and bottled by.
I enjoy that a whole lot.
Yeah. Bourbon's really good.
Yeah.
I'd recommend it. Whoa.
You know you got something when Zach goes, whoa.
So this is the rye. This is 109 proof. This is around $100-ish, and I don't know the mash bill or the age of it.
Has a very, again, I think with anything that's double oak, I think you should smell the oak on the nose, and you do on this. This is more of a toasty, kind of campfire-y nose.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Because I feel like there's like a marshmallowy smell to it.
I agree with that.
Yeah, this is a very pleasant nose. Honestly, even more than this one. Like,
yeah, I would actually agree with that.
I like the nose of the rye more than I like the nose on the bourbon. Here's to hoping that the rye is better than the bourbon.
So, honestly, the thing that came to mind nosing this, take just like a really nice piece of toast, put some caramel on it, a little bit of chocolate, that marshmallow spread.
Mm-hmm.
and then just some really rich red fruit like jam. I know that seems like a lot, but just
That's what it feels like, though.
what it feels like.
It really does feel like that. I can't even fault you for saying that. Gosh, man, that nose is welcoming. Like I want to just sit down by a fire and just drink this. Ooh. That's interesting. Because the oak on the backside of that is really good. There's a cinnamony finish to it.
Mm-hmm. I'd agree.
It's sweet. Man.
So it honestly makes me think about going back to the campfire thing. With a marshmallow that's burnt, then you put cinnamon, brown sugar, and I don't know, it's missing something. That's what it that's on the palate is what it kind of makes me think of. I do agree there's some cinnamon on the backside of that. There's a little bit of a smokiness to it as well with that oak.
There is. That oak comes right at the end of the palate, right at the finish. There's that oak really kind of stays right at your throat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which I think is probably the campfire, kind of that campfirey kind of smell and taste to it.
I would agree.
It's all right there.
I would agree. I think I like the palate more on the bourbon. I think that rye is really good. I think the nose is better on the rye though.
I agree with you.
And I think the finish is about the same. It just kind of depends on what you like.
Yeah.
So I think overall I would take the bourbon over the rye, but it's really close. Both of them are surprisingly really good. I don't love the price. I wish the price was a little less.
Yeah,
I don't like spending $90 and $100. But
I'm gonna be honest with you.
If you throw that out,
yeah,
I think it's pretty good.
I really think of these two, just never really happens, is I think I would choose the rye on this. Yeah, and I really like this. This is really good. But this hits me at a different level. I love just the whole campfire feel of this one. The marshmallow, the sweetness,
it's good.
The toasted oak on it, all of that stuff. The finish on it. It just feels like you've been sitting and you've sucked in way too much smoke from a campfire.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that feels like. But that's a great feeling. I like that a lot.
No, I agree. I was looking for a batch number or something that does. I don't see it anywhere on here.
That's really good. So here's the deal. If you're coming to Louisville and I'm sure this is available in a bunch of areas and a bunch of stuff. But if you're coming to Louisville and you want to do a tour, they do a great tour.
Yeah.
And either one of these, I think you'd be happy with. You may not be happy with throwing $90 down, but you're on vacation. You're coming to have a good time. So you're probably going to be willing to throw that $90, $90 to $100 on either one of these. I don't think you're going to be disappointed with either one of those.
No, I don't think so either.
Chances are these are some of the maybe on a bar somewhere that you could try. And if you wanted to try it before you buy it, you could probably do that. Mm-hmm. But all in all, I would say they're worth getting from a craft distillery. These I think are worth having.
I agree. I think it's good stuff.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I don't love the price of them, but if you take that factor out of it, I think the quality of what's actually in the bottles, I think it's really good stuff.
Shout out to Peerless.
Yeah. They've not only done well with this, but also their high rye. I personally love their high rye.
I've not had the high rye, but I want to have the high rye.
Yeah, it's right back there.
It's right back there. So after we cut and get rid of this video, I will have a little sample of the high rye.
All right. Make sure you all leave in the comments below what your thoughts are. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe button. And until the next time,
we'll see you.
We'll see you.